Hey guys, it's Charlie. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about why I think Asians are, rich. And I want to preface this by saying not all Asians are rich. There are plenty of Asians throughout the world that are definitely not rich, right? But you do see this it sort of has been this stereotype where when you think Asian person, you think, especially like here in the States or whatever, you think more like crazy rich Asians, right? I think there's a higher percentage of Asians that are wealthy than many other ethnic groups or whatever. And there's a lot of reasons why too. So I sort of wanted to talk about that in this video. But yeah, overall, I grew up in I grew up in Palo Alto, and my high school was about 30% Asian. The rest almost all white. And during that time, so I was in high school until 2010, graduated in 2010. And during that time, like there wasn't really that perception that Asians were rich, right? I think everyone knew that Asians were good at saving and stuff like that, but they didn't have this image of wealth, at least not to the level that you see today, right? And you really have mainstream media, social media to basically perpetuate this image, right? Crazy Rich Asians, of course, one of the first movies I saw that I was like, holy crap, like Asians are really rich. Before I had not been exposed to that. I didn't have that like image in my mind. I do want to say there is huge selection bias, right? I already mentioned that, of course, not all Asians in the world are rich. There's a lot of second and third world countries that are in Asia. But the Asians that go to first world countries, the stereotype basically lies there, right? We could talk about like the wealth disparity in countries like China, where you have some really, really, really rich people, and then most people are just more average or living like completely different than the super rich. You have that huge wealth disparity. But getting back to topic, okay, selection bias, right? The people that come to countries like the US, if you think about the people that immigrated to the US from, let's say, China, like my parents, there is a lot of selection bias because it is not easy at all. Now, I want to really like talk about this because I don't think a lot of people realize just how difficult it used to be back in the day to get to America. It's where everyone wanted to be. And just to give you guys an example of like my parents, right? They were the smartest basically people in their basically school or city. And if you wanted to go to college, one, you had to be like really, really smart, like top of your class. If you wanted to go to study in the US, you had to be a level even higher than that. So what I'm saying is like the people that were able to immigrate here, like let's say 30 years ago, they probably are, they're really smart. They have good genes. They have good like brain school smart genes. Right. My parents are definitely very smart. And if they didn't have that, they would not be here. They would not be able to come here. So you have that huge selection bias. And I don't think a lot of people realize this. Like, not every Asian person is good at math. Not every Asian person is good at school, right? There's a ton of people in Asia that are horrible at those things. But of course, they're not going to be able to get here because they're not going to excel in school enough to be able to get picked to actually come to the US. So yeah, that's a huge selection bias. I think that counts for most of like why you probably have the perception that Asians are good at school, Asians are smart and stuff like that. It's because the people that made it here, their parents were super smart, and as a result, their kids are probably on average smarter, or they instilled more of that like work ethic into them, especially when it came to school, right? So definitely want to talk about that. Now let's talk about like some of the actual things that make Asians more rich. The first is that Asians are really good at saving. I grew up in a very frugal household. You can argue that it was too frugal, whatever, I don't care. But the fact is that Asians are just, they're made to save money, right? I think in America, a lot of people, and it still blows my mind, a lot of people think you make money to spend it. In Asian cultures, you make money to save it. It's completely different, right? The whole idea of like what you should spend. And for Asians, you basically can't afford anything because most of the money that you make needs to go to investments or needs to be saved. There's no wiggle room. And for a lot of other people, right, it's like you make money not to save it for the future, but to be able to enjoy it right now. And yeah, there's good parts about that, definitely. But there's also bad parts about that. The bad part being, of course, it's going to be hard to build long-term wealth. The US is all about credit, credit cards, right? Where you buy things on credit, you buy things on loans, mortgages. Like a lot of the spending in the US is able to be done because of credit. And people think they can afford things because they can get approved for a loan for it. Whereas for a lot of Asian people, it's like you want to be able to pay cash for it. And there's just a lot less of this like credit mentality. People in Asia, they like, I don't know too much about like the whole economic situation and stuff like that, but essentially, at least for my parents, this is what I know best. My parents grew up in complete poverty, right? Like they didn't have meat, right? Just rice and vegetables. They might have had meat once every week or two. They all shared like one single bedroom, one single room in a like house. It was completely different than like how they're living today. And so growing up in that type of environment really, it creates frugality. Like it makes sense why my grandma, she's also super super frugal, even more so than my parents, right? It's because this was like they had to be frugal. They had to be really really frugal to survive. And of course that sticks with you, right? Of course they don't need to be that frugal now, but it's still a part of them and it's very very hard to get rid of. I think this applies to Asians across the board, at least most of the ones that I know, where let's say the parents grew up in some type of harder situation. They became frugal as a result of that. And then those values get passed on to their kids, who are the people that I'm surrounded by. Also, there's this whole thing with like delayed gratification. I think Asians are pretty good at that. I think a lot of people in America, it's like, no, why would you delay your gratification? If you can buy it right now, just buy it right now. It's very much so about delayed gratification in Asian culture. And yeah, what else can we talk about? Okay, so the other thing is, we already mentioned this basically, but the whole culture of like school and learning and accomplishments. When I was growing up, it was really all about like accomplishments and learning and stuff, right? My parents put me in all these different like groups. I was always doing stuff, chess, all these sports, school, classes, arts, music, all this stuff. I was always doing stuff because they pushed this like idea of accomplishments and learning and stuff onto me. Obviously, I think that's very, very good. It is a huge reason why I am pretty good at most things I do today. Because my parents forced me to do a lot of this stuff and become more well-rounded. But there are downsides to it. But essentially, this like culture of school and learning, it definitely helps you build wealth, right? I was watching a movie last night about a dysfunctional family. forget the movie's called, but it was basically a mom that was what's it called? Sending text messages to her daughter, pretending to be someone else and just like taunting her, telling her to kill herself, stuff like that. And it made me realize like there are so many really dysfunctional households everywhere. I'm super lucky I didn't grow up in a household like that, because if I had, right, like I probably would not have the resources or the push to do things that make money. Very, very privileged for that. And I think that's a pretty, like this thing that you're never enough, you're always being compared to other people. It's definitely prevalent in Asian culture. I think if you're watching this video and you're Asian, right, you probably grew up and had your parents be like, oh, so-and-so's kid is in Stanford and she just won this math competition, or like, oh, his son is has a 4.8 GPA and is in robotics and leader of the soccer team, like stuff like that, right? You're always sort of being compared to other people. And I think that creates some type of trauma where it's like, okay, accomplishments really, really matter. I don't know of any other ethnic groups where it's that prevalent. I think most immigrants have something similar to that. So I'm not going to say if like Asians have it higher than other immigrant groups, but they're all very, very high, where the parents, they have these expectations. They want you to accomplish a lot of things. They're always comparing you to other kids. And so you basically your self-worth is tied to your accomplishments, what you do, how much money you make, your career, stuff like that. Now, whether that's good or bad, like I'm not gonna, I don't know. There's obviously good parts to that. There's obviously bad parts to that, right? I think most Asian people need to have some type of therapy to unwind all that stuff from their childhood. But given that type of pressure literally helps you have more achievements, I think that's a huge reason why we see a lot of like really impressive Asian kids growing up, right? A lot of kids crush it in math, stereotypes, Rubik's cubes, right? Like most of those people that are super good at are Asian. That's why there's the saying, there's always a young Asian kid that's better than you, because it's that accomplishment driven childhood that a lot of Asian people have in the US. Beyond that, of course, Asians have high representation in a lot of these like wealth creating fields, right? Like if you're Asian, your parents probably want you to become a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, engineer, some type of like field like that earns a lot of money. I think if most people grew up in a household where their parents push them to do a specific high paying career, that would for sure increase the chances of them actually going out and doing that, right? So that parental pressure is a big reason why we have a lot of these Asian people in these high wealth creating fields, finance, stuff like that. It's because it's like in Asian culture, if you're not in those things, if you're doing YouTube, right? Like what I do, it's not like a career or like field that your parents are necessarily proud of. No Asian parent back in the day, at least, was proud of their kids for getting into the arts, right? Doing film, stuff like that. Nowadays, it's definitely changing. They're realizing that there's a lot of money to be made there. But before, there was like you had to do well in school. You had to get a great degree, get a great career to make a lot of money, because that's what our parents had to do back in the day to get here and to make their money. There's literally no other way for them to rise out of poverty, get out of China and come here. So that's what they want for their kids. And that, of course, increases the chance that their kids go into these fields. So yeah, I think those are like the main reasons why I think Asians are somewhat wealthy. Don't want to make like a super clear statement. Like I don't want to make like a definitive statement because, yeah, I just don't want to. But that's why I think Asians do have an advantage when it comes to wealth building. It's just due to the facts, the things I talked about, the culture, the selection bias, right, for the people that are here. What else? The tendency to save money that's baked into the culture. And yeah, those are the main points I want to talk about. I'm definitely glad that I grew up Asian. I mean, the first 18 years of my life, I actually was not happy I was Asian at all. I really wanted to be white or something else. Had zero pride, and looking back on that, it's super sad. Mainly, it's because there was no Asian representation in media, and as crazy as it sounds, like media has a huge impact on young people's minds and perceptions, right? So, yeah, if these movies had been released earlier, things would have changed probably. If there were more Asian YouTubers earlier on, things might have changed. If I saw more Asian men in on magazine covers and being portrayed as like cool, then it might have changed. But the fact is, like, I grew up not wanting to be Asian, but now I'm starting to see all the benefits of it. I'm really appreciating my culture a lot more, and now I can definitely say I'm like very proud to be Asian. All right, that's this video. If you guys got some value from it, make sure to like it, subscribe, and I'll do a ton of on this channel. I'm doing a ton of videos, just talking to the camera, talking about different topics, teaching you guys things, very unfiltered advice, just coming from me. All right, thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next one.